Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Factorio. I just want to be able to hear myself better. Turn off the noise cancellation. So I watched the almighty Dosh Doshington. He has a 3-minute trains tutorial where he doesn't explain every little tiny detail, but gives you just enough to be able to figure things out. And I think I can figure out how to chain signal our intersection that we were working on last time. So I'm going to try to correct that before we go. So right now, with how we've got it signaled up, right, it works just fine. It's all one block, right, but it means trains would have to wait. So what we want to do is we want to put chain signals in the directions that we want trains to typically go. So what we'll do here is we're going to remove this signal, and we're going to put a chain signal instead. And then we're going to put a chain signal here as well to kind of lead the way up. And then it should read that signal, but I don't know why it's not. I feel like it should, but it doesn't. Well, I'm going to put a chain signal there. I'm also going to put a chain signal here and here. Whew, almost got hit there. Why isn't that doing what I think it should be doing? Now I'm a little confused. Maybe what I need to do is actually turn this into a chain signal as well. And throw a chain signal here too. Oh, there we go. That's reading. Oh, there we go. That fixed it. Okay. So here's what I think is happening. So now we have this little tiny block that also reads this block and this block to make sure that it's okay for trains to go through. And then we also have this block reading this block and this block to make sure trains can go through. Okay, lovely. So this is starting to make some sense. So now we want trains to go this way. So that means we want more chain signals going here. And then here. And preferably here as well, but I don't think that's entirely possible. But here. And there we go. And that appears to be working just fine now too, which is great. So now we want, okay, so we have trains able to go this way. We have trains able to go this way. We have trains able to go this way. Now we need trains to be able to go this way. So let's go ahead and chain signal that up. So we want that, and then that. Something like that, right? Big question mark, I'm not sure. So now we can do that. But why wouldn't this just be a regular signal? It can be. Okay, very good. So that goes that way. This goes that way. This goes that way. This goes that way. This should also be able to be just a regular signal too, right? Yes. Now it's starting to make a bit more sense. And then this goes that way. This goes that way. This goes that way. This goes that way. That should also be able to be a signal then, or a normal signal too then. Like that. Right? Yeah, I think so actually. I think that works. I think we fixed, oh, almost fixed it. This up here I think can also be a regular signal too. There we go, something like that. So we can go this way, we can go this way. 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 And we can go this way. So I think we're okay. And as we're watching the trains go, we'll have to see if the copper one has any issues. Also, I forgot to put a radar over there. So let's put a radar over there real quick. And then we'll go wrap up our copper drop-off station. Because, yeah. Would like to be able to see things, right? Need to be able to see stuff. So let's head on over there where we can hopefully see stuff soon. Hello, other radar that we placed ages ago. Working our way over there. It's a bit of a trek, but that's alright. No worries. No worries at all. So yeah, we're just gonna slap that guy. I'm just gonna slap it right over here, I think. Just kind of out of the way a little bit. There we go. Okay. So now that we've got that all set up, I can't see this little spot over here. So I'm just gonna say whatever. I'm gonna go ahead and place the radar there anyway. I'm just gonna drag this along for the ride on the way back. Because I want to be able to see everything. I'm crazy, I know. I'm crazy, but I want to see everything. Hello, other radar. There we go. Now I can see everything. I'll need to add another radar when I eventually go hit that other copper up. But in the meantime, I should be able to say go ahead. There we go. Let's watch this. So it's going to go to... Oh good, it stopped. How lovely. But why is it still... Okay, there it goes. Oh, it was stopped because that whole other side is not signaled at all. Oh my goodness, we can fix that. We can fix that. Let's go ahead and signal this side a little bit. Yeah, that's a long stretch of land to not have signaled. So let's go ahead and do that. That way trains don't get deadlocked as much. Let's stick one here and here. And then we've already got them there. Okay, lovely. Whew. Oh, I almost potentially died there. Okay. It looks like it was able to get to copper just fine. That's going to load up. It's going to take some time, but it's going to load up. And then when that's done loading up, it'll come back. So yeah, that's working just fine. Working as intended. Lovely. It was able to get there just fine, which means my chain signals did not break the intersection, heading towards the right-hand side. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this all merged back onto our bus. So how do we want to do that? How do we want to do that? Well, first let's get the belts out of here. Again, I'm kind of crazy. Don't kill me. Don't kill me, train. Okay, so those are done and out. Let's get these out. Rock. And I'm out of belt, actually, so let's go get some more belt. Let's go get some more belt. And on the way back, let's see how we can route the copper around. So copper, I want to go ahead and flood the copper near the start of the bus. And then I want to reinforce the copper a bit deeper in. Looks like our blue circuits have backed up because our green circuits have backed up. So right now we're actually doing okay, but we do need to actually make sure that we get plenty of copper in here. But for now, let's grab some more belt. There we go. And then let's get rid of any junk that we have. So what uses coal? Well, these grenades here use coal, so let's just dump the coal here. There we go. What uses wood? This here uses stone. Lovely. This here uses copper. Lovely. This here takes our wood. Lovely. And then we have some extra solid fuel, which I guess I can throw around into a train-ish kind of thing. All right. So let's first inject a line of copper up here. Then we'll inject a line of copper after this green circuit. And then we'll figure out 2 more in just a little bit. Let's do it one line at a time. That way we can just kind of figure it out as we go. So coming back down here to our lovely trains. Hello, lovely train. Okay, that's safe to cross. Okay, so let's start again by lining these up. Okay, there's that. So I'm going to grab this first one here. I'm going to work my way up, give me some extra room for those other belts, work my way over. Leave a little bit of extra room just in case. Okay, so we want to go ahead and inject this line right here at the start, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and do something like, I also want to convert all of these yellows to reds, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So let's see. Something like that, so we can inject it there. And then we want to inject a second one onto the second line. But after the green circuits. So let's do that. Because even though our copper is all backed up right now, you can see it's starting to run out. So we are going to eventually be running primarily off of this train, just like we're doing with our iron. So we're going to head on up and over and up and over. And then there's our first injection point. And then this is our second injection point, probably right about there. So we're going to go ahead and do something like here. Okay, so there's that. Also, while we're at it, let's go ahead and update all of these to reds. At least coming out of here and heading over. We'll start on this line first, and then we'll come back up the second line too. The reason why I want to upgrade it to reds is just because now that we're injecting red belts of copper from the trains, might as well keep it red all the way through, so that way we can get as much throughput as possible. Okay, that's good. Let's go ahead and now work our way backwards. The ones from the smelter being yellow are probably okay, but I'm not 100% confident in that, so I'm probably going to upgrade those to reds as well here pretty soon. There we go. So there's that for now. So now I want to inject some more copper after the next green circuits. So we're going to route some copper pretty far down here actually. There's the next set of green circuits. So we're going to want to route some copper maybe just before these green circuits, because I know the mall takes some and some other stuff takes some. So maybe we can inject some. That's kind of a mess to inject into. Maybe we can inject some here. Maybe we can inject some here. Let's do that. I hate when that happens. There we go. Okay, so where's our copper lines? Now we gotta go find our copper lines. There they are. So we're going to just run, I guess, right up along here. It's getting a little snaky, but that's okay. There's that. Let's grab our fourth and final line. And then we'll inject that after the green circuits. So green circuits are there. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it right down here through the bit of a mess, but that's okay. Yeah, we're going to go through this mess. And then there's the green circuits. And then we're going to inject it around here. So we're going to go like maybe not there, one more back. Something like that. There we go. There's our final injection point for now. So that will help us use the copper. And yeah, the reason why everything backed up nicely is because our blue circuit's all backed up. But anyway, I think we've got that all set up now. So everything is nice and happy. Nice and happy indeed. Okay. So now that everything's nice and happy again, let's clean up our inventory. I don't know what to do with the solid fuel. I don't know what to do with the solid fuel, so I'm probably just going to stick it in a box by like the power poles that we had before. Consider that like a trash-ish area. So here, you take the solid fuel for whatever reason. And then stone. You take stone. I need some more of this. And then copper. These guys take copper. So here you go. Have that. Have that. What else takes copper? What else takes copper? This guy takes copper, so here, have that. And then these bullets take copper, so here, take that. And then for plastic, red circuits take plastic, so red circuits can have that. And you can also have my green circuits. And then bricks. These walls take bricks, so you can have my bricks. There we go. Nice and cleaned up. Perfect. And then let's go drop off our yellow belts and get some more red belts. Because we're actually finally going to get to the project I wanted to get to. I want to upgrade my armor and get bots. So there's that. There's that. There's that. Very good. Okay. So now we're going to get like all of these and all of those too. We're going to get like all those. We're still okay on splitters. Let's also refill on these guys here while we're here. And then let's refill on stack inserters as well, because that'll be good. Okay. We've already started automating the roboports too, which is great. So let's grab like 40 of those for now. Sweet. So let's see, do we want to do bots first? Actually, let's get the chests automated too real quick before we start doing bots. So, green, red, and steel chests. Green, red, and steel chests. Well, that works out nicely for one of the boxes. Be passive providers. Stop you about there. And then I don't really have the room for that here. What I could do though is split this off. Again, really messy, but maybe messy is fine. We'll just embrace the mess as much as we can. Let's go ahead and run that over. There we go. There we go. Messy, but it will get the job done. Okay. So now we're going to do steel chest. And then you're going to need long-handed inserters. And then you're going to output chest this direction. I'm going to have it actually go onto a belt because I know we have other boxes to craft later. And then we're going to have this guy craft our yellow boxes. And we actually don't need that to progress any further. So we're going to go in, out. And there we go. So if we power all this on, life should be happy. There we go. Keep our box maker happy. Okay. So we've got passive provider chests being made. And we have storage chests being made. So awesome. And then I again have some extra stuff to drop off, which is all fine. We'll just drop it off. There we go. All right. So now let's look at bots. So we've got roboports. Now we actually want to get construction bots and all that fun stuff going. So construction bots and logistics bots take red and green circuits. They also take flying robot frames. So flying robot frames need steel batteries and electric engines and green circuits. So we need to get electric engines going. So flying robot frames take 20 seconds to craft. And I'm going to want to make like 10 of them. Electric engine units take 10 seconds to craft. But I always like to overbuild a little bit. So we're going to overbuild a little bit. And I'm going to say I want 8 of those. Like I said, I want like 10 of these. And then these have the same crafting time. So I'm going to want 8 of these. This is basically going to be a really long line. And that's okay. So again, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Start there. And our base thing that we need is engines. So we're going to do like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 engines, because again, I like to overbuild and let things overbuild a little bit. Okay, so for engines, we need pipes and gears and steel. So for pipes and gears, I'm going to have to do 4 over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm guessing, I don't know if I want to fully math it out, but I'm guessing that like 3 gears and 3 pipes will do just fine. So we're going to do gears here, and then we're going to have them output onto a belt, right? And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have pipes output onto the same belt, just on the other side. So you're going to be pipes, and then you're going to need iron plate, and you're going to need iron plate, which means we're going to want like a splitter or something here, so we can do that kind of goodness. Let's go ahead and get those resources routed. Okay, so those will be happy. And then we're going to have that run along here. So that gives us the pipes and the gears. We're going to want steel to run along the top side here. So we're going to want in like this. And then we're going to want out. Something like this. And that's going to be our engines. So now let's look at our electric engines. So our electric engines need electronic circuits, engines, and lubricant. So with the engines outputting here, I'm going to go ahead and start taking them from like halfway, so like here-ish. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's do 8 actually, so that way we get 10 engines going into 8 electric engines. And then I always forget about the connection that I want to do. I want to do something like that. So 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay. I need more pipe because I threw a bunch of pipe into the mall earlier. So let's go get a stack of pipe and a stack of undergrounds too. Well, we're going to want a couple stacks of undergrounds actually because we need to bring the lubricant down. So let's see, where are our pipes? Our pipes are this direction. Man, this mall is a mess. I can't wait to clean it up. So let's grab a couple stacks of that and like, we'll grab all 3 stacks of those. Okay. So where is... There's lubricant. Oh, it's not even that far. How lovely. But why did I bring it all the way down here? Now I don't even know why I brought it all the way down here. But whatever. It's here now, and I'm not complaining. So electric engines need to take in the engines that are made. We also need to take in green circuits and then output. So I think what I want to do actually is I am going to shorten this. First I thought I could make it work, but I'm going to go ahead and shorten it. There we go. Then we're going to go ahead and output and then in order to get green circuits, I'm going to route some green circuits and link them up here. Something like this. And just kind of making this up as I go. This might not be the cleanest solution, but it is a solution. I'm going to have to pull the green circuits twice though, because I'm also going to want to pull a combined red and green belt. So let's see, I'm going to go ahead and pull the green circuits here. And then, hold on. I need to connect the green circuits directly, actually, because the engines are going to be placed on the far side. There we go. That'll work. Let's go ahead and start powering some of this stuff on just so we can kind of make sure everything is working okay. So we want our ins, of course. And then we want our powers on. Lovely. That's going to get us our gears and pipes. Okay, there's that. So now we should be getting engine. Oh, no, not yet. We're still missing steel. So let's go ahead and get some steel going here. Wood. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull the steel. I'll just go ahead and pull a full one, even though we probably only need a half one. That's fine, I'll pull a full one. And then those also need steel. Okay, this is going to be interesting. So now this is going to output this way. Now we should be getting engines. We are. Lovely. And then that will allow us to get electric engines going. So now we've got all the base components we need for flying robot frames, because we can pull in electronic circuits. And with how little these electronic circuits are going to be used, what I can even do is I can split these off and then throw them onto here. Or do I want to do the batteries? I can mix the batteries and steel plate. That's fine. There we go. So now we have green circuits and electric engines on one belt. Now we need to pull steel and batteries onto another belt. I know I'm already pulling steel here, but I want to do a half and half belt. So we're going to do that. So we're going to go... like that. And then let's pull the steel. And then let's pull the batteries. There we go. And now we should have everything we need to make the flying robot frames. So again, I'm going to want $20 of these. So that actually means I wanted 10 of these. Oh wait, no, I want 10 of these. That's what I said before. So let's do 10. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for the robot frames. So we got the 2 inputs. And we've got the output. There we go. So now that we've got the robot frames, coming back here, we need just red and green circuits combined to go along with the robot frames. So let's go ahead and do a combined red and green. And we'll want to output that this way. So this is going to be a little bit tricky, actually. So we want... something like that. And then we'll want 1, 2... something like... that. There we go. We snaked it through, ladies and gentlemen. We did it. Okay. I'm leaving some extra room by the engines in case I need to expand that out later. Even though if I need to expand engines, I probably need to expand electric engines too. So I'd have to tear this whole thing down anyway, but whatever. Okay. So now that we've got both of these, now we want to go ahead and craft our construction bots and our construction bots. And then we want our logistics bots. There we go. Now they're both going to be on the same belt. So let's get this powered on. Make sure that it's working. Lovely, they are. Perfect. Now they are eating through flying robot frames really quickly, so it's not going to be perfect, right? These aren't going to constantly work. They are going to stop. But we'll still get all the bots we need over time, so I'm not too worried about it. Okay. So now that we're starting to get bots, now we need to actually start putting them into our robo network. And we aren't building a robo network yet, but we are gonna. So let's go ahead and add our robo ports to our bar here. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna do something really simple. There's even better ways to go about doing this, but I'm just gonna do something really, really, really simple. So here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna add the robo port here. I'm gonna grab filter inserters. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say I want this filter inserter to grab logistics bots is fine. I want this inserter to grab construction bots. And then we're going to circuit these guys up. Okay. Now these inserters can now see something really important. So here on the RoboPort, we're going to click on that and we're going to enable read robot stats. And the reason for this is because these are going to be making robots forever and ever, right? And while we do want a lot of bots, we don't want an infinite number of bots. We want to control this, right? And so the easiest way to control it is to go ahead and circuit these guys, enable robot statistics, and now you're going to see these letters, right? The available number of bots for logistics and construction, and the total number of bots for logistics and construction. Now the better way to do this is to look at both the available and total and then build logic that way. But I'm going to make the logic really simple, which will require some manual intervention sometimes if you want to increase the number of bots that you have, if you find that your projects just aren't being completed fast enough. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to circuit this to look at the total number of construction bots and logistics bots. And I'm basically going to say I want 1,000 of each. And then later on down the line, if we need to make more, I can just come back here and say, now I want 2,000, now I want 3,000, now I want 4,000, however many bots I need, right? So I'll have to come back and periodically update it, but for now, we're going to say, okay, so I want this logistics bot inserter to work as long as we have less than 1,000 of Y. So less than 1,000 of Y. And then if we enable this, we can now see that one is working. So now here, we're going to do the same thing, but now we want to look at T. So here, we're going to enable, as long as we have less than 1,000 of T. Y being logistics bots and T being construction bots. So now whenever you hover over a RoboPort, you can see the total number of available bots on the left. So you see number of available robots, logistic and construction there. And that's the total number in your Robo network, right? In your Robo network, if we open up the map and we turn on this RoboPort thing, you can see we have two colors. And as we build RoboPorts in proximity to each other, we're going to expand this area, kind of like our radar coverage, right? Our radar coverage allows us to see. Our network coverage allows our bots to work. The green, the bigger box, is the box that construction robots can work in. The orange box, the smaller box, is the box that logistics robots can work in. So when you're building your network, you want coverage of your, in my personal factories anyway, some people do divide their networks up, which also makes sense. But I typically want to cover my core main factory, including my oil, and including solar panels and stuff like that. I want to include it all in the orange area, so that way my logistics robots can work from anywhere in the base, and as well as my construction bots. And you'll see what I mean as we build this out. But yeah, so this is the network. If I do have another RoboPort like way over here, they're not connected, they're not part of the same network, it would be considered a separate network. But as soon as they're all connected, they're all part of the same network. So, yeah. So for now, again, just to get to the rocket launch, we're probably just going to have one network. And that should be good enough. But you can see now that we're already starting to get a good amount of bots. Mostly logistic, but also some construction bots as well. And that's all good. And yeah. Man, I really should have made like 20 of these robo frames. But all good. We'll get the bots that we need eventually. So now that we have bots, which is great, I want to actually take 50 of these construction bots into my inventory. And you guys will find out why later on, but I want to basically have robots in my inventory so that way they'll be able to help me out as I'm going out and doing stuff. Once I actually get better armor, and once I actually get these better equipment here placed into my armor. So now my next goal is to go ahead and get this power armor. So to do that, I need 40 blue chips, 20 electric engines, which I can steal from this setup here that we did for bots. Right? I can just steal them. There we go, stolen. And then the blue chips, let's go ahead and just steal some blue chips. There we go, stolen. And now we can build a power armor. Once we have that in place, I'm going to actually pull all this stuff out of my modular armor because I'm going to want to put it into my power armor. The power armor is going to give us more inventory space, and the power armor is going to have more space for that equipment, for that personal equipment. So our power armor is done. Let's go ahead and equip it. Boom. We have more inventory space. And if I right click on this guy to open up, we have more space to put equipment. So let's go ahead and start filling this up. So in addition to that, now I've got solar energy in there. Now I'm going to want things like these exoskeletons and the personal roboports especially. So I'm going to go ahead and make 2 exoskeletons. So for that I need steel, blue chips, which I already have plenty of, and more electric engines. So let's go ahead and grab some steel. Let's grab some electric engines. There we go. And we can make 2 exoskeletons. And then I want the personal roboport, which means I have the steel already. I need to grab some red chips. Lovely. And then what else do I need? Gears and batteries. So gears I can go find anywhere where we need to make a bunch of gears. Like up here, for example. I can take these gears. I can also steal the gears from here. I can also steal the gears from here too. And now I can make, oh, not quite yet. I need batteries. So let's go ahead and get the batteries from our bus over here. Normally I like to throw things into my mall, but because this is just personal stuff, I don't mind handcrafting it. So there's the logistics. And now I want better personal batteries, and that's going to require low density structure. And I can automate the low density structure now if I want to, or I can just handcraft it and be willing to wait a little while. So the batteries are going to take a long time to build if I decide to handcraft, and I'm okay with that. So let's grab a whole bunch of blue chips. And then let's grab a whole bunch of batteries. So we're going to need a whole bunch of batteries. Let's grab a whole bunch of plastic. And then let's grab a whole bunch of copper. And then we're going to start handcrafting this stuff. Okay. So that only allows for one. I need more steel. I think I want to get like 3 Mark II batteries, something like that. So there's 2, 3. All right, perfect. So let's go ahead and clear out our inventory. So what needs green circuits? Well, these engines do. So let's go ahead and just throw green circuits in there. What needs red circuits? Well, our bots do. So let's just throw those in there. Oh, wait, no, these do. No, what needs red circuits? Oh, the logistics robots do. What needs blue circuits? Well, nothing yet, so I'm just gonna throw as many as I can back onto here by just holding the Z key down. And while I'm not going to be able to get rid of all of them, hopefully I can get rid of most of them. Okay. And then electric engines I can throw here into that. Batteries I can also throw in there. Sulfur that I accidentally grabbed. Sulfur gets used here. Let's throw some of that in there. Gears get used in engines. Plastic gets used in making red circuits. Copper gets used making the copper cables. Steel gets used in the engines. Red circuits use plastic. I thought I got rid of all my plastic. I guess not. There we go. Iron gets used for making gears and pipes and all that. So there you go. Wood. Wood I can drop off back at the mall, which hopefully isn't too terribly far away. And just keeping everything nice and clean. There we go. Okay, things are looking pretty good. So let's go ahead and open up our power armor and let's start filling things up, right? So we've got 2 rows of solar panels. I may add a 3rd row. I'm not 100% sure yet. Let's throw our 2 exoskeletons in there. That's going to allow us to run a lot faster, which is amazing. From there, I'm going to go ahead and throw our personal roboport there. And then I'm going to put the belt immunity here somewhere, maybe there. And then I might put another personal roboport, I might not. Here's one of the batteries, so we can stick that there. Yeah, maybe I will do another personal roboport. I don't know. We shall see. Because basically the personal roboport can only support up to 10 bots at the same time, right? And I've got 50 in my inventory. So I could do another personal roboport, stick it here, and then I can run 20 bots at the same time, which might be nice. So let's do that, actually. So that required steel, batteries, iron gears. So steel, batteries, more batteries, iron gears, more iron gears. There we go. Make another one of them. And then again, just gonna clean everything up. So you can have those. You can have those. You can have those. And then what needs batteries? You don't need batteries. You need batteries. So here, take the batteries. Okay. We're still working on making our personal batteries. I told you they're going to take a long time, and that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and throw that in there. just because. Once it's daytime, our solar panels will start to work. Eventually, we're going to get something called a portable fusion reactor, and that will basically replace all of these solar panels really easily. And it will also generate power at night for us, which will be nice. But for now, we're going to use solar panels and batteries. Okay, so we've got bots, which is amazing. So while we're handcrafting our suit stuff, let's go ahead and start building our robo network. So to do that, we're going to start placing roboports, right? Robots work out of these roboports and it expands the network. And you can see here when you grab a roboport, you can see the area. And you can also see a dotted line that allows you to tell when roboports are connected to the same network. So what you want to do is you want to try to space them apart as much as you can. But it doesn't have to be perfect. But I like to space them out as much as I can, just to have a large network with as few roboports being used as possible in order to establish that network. So that's too far. See, the line broke. So we want it about here-ish. Should be fine. And there we go. And it's also within power too, which is nice. Excuse me. So let's go ahead and keep extending the network out. As soon as the line breaks, we go ahead and place it down. And let's add some power to this too. There we go. Let's add another. About here seems good. Let's add another. You can see we're going to be placing a lot of roboports, and that's totally fine. So we'll put another one here. We're going to put another one down here-ish. Like that. And let's keep the network going. Now these roboports are one of the main reasons why I put four belts worth of gap in between the bus lanes, so that way I can put roboports in there. So there was a bit of a method to my madness, I swear. But just a little bit of a method to my madness, not a lot of method to my madness. Add another power pole there. Get that guy powered on. Okay, there's that. Let's keep extending the network. You can kind of see what I'm going for, right? And again, it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, just, you know, good enough. So if we look at the map, you can see our coverage is starting to grow. We eventually want it to especially encompass the mall, and I'll show you guys why in just a little bit. So we're going to work our way up to the mall, and that's going to be something awesome that our logistics robots will definitely help us out with. And I'm really looking forward to that. Okay. Let's go ahead and keep the coverage going. There's the break. So we'll go there. There we go. Keep the coverage going. Does one fit there? Does not quite fit there. Hey, my wife got an achievement. Nice. Good job. My wife is awesome. I'll have to go congratulate her later for getting that achievement. She's playing Forager. She's been really into Forager lately, which is sweet. Okay. All right, we're starting to get some coverage in our mall now here in a second, which is lovely. We definitely want the mall coverage. Let's see, I'm going to go ahead and add some undergrounds here. So that way I can throw a RoboPort there. And then let's throw another RoboPort there. Let's throw another RoboPort here. Let's throw another RoboPort here. See, it doesn't have to be perfect at all. Let's throw another RoboPort here. Now let's head up to our... I don't have to get it set to oil just yet. Or maybe even ever. But you can see now the orange boxes are covering the bulk of our factory, right? We're not really covering smelting, but you don't really need to cover smelting. And now it's time for some incredibleness, right? So now if we hover over these, right, bots have been building the whole time. We currently have 200 logistics bots and 150 construction bots. And if we open up our map here and zoom in, why aren't more going in? Waiting for source item. Wait, that doesn't make sense. Source item is... Oh, it's because there's not enough room in the RoboPort. So the RoboPort can only hold a certain amount of bots. So that's why. So once we actually start putting the bots to use, they'll start shifting around and there will be room in the RoboPorts. So to start putting the bots to use, what we're going to do is we're going to start converting all of these boxes to boxes that our robots can use. And you can see here, we can now run pretty fast. Our battery's starting to charge up a little bit. Let's also put in our 2 other batteries. Put another battery here, put that there. Maybe we can do something like this. There we go. Or something like this perhaps. Throw another battery there. There we go. I could build 3 more solar panels and fill that gap even. What do solar panels need? Steel, advanced circuits, and solar panels. So that's pretty easy. Here's the advanced circuits, steel, and we have plenty of solar panels over here, which we will have bots placed down soon enough. Grab some of those. And then 1, 2, 3, and let's start putting things back. So solar panels can go back. There we go. Batteries can get put somewhere. Steel can get put somewhere. You need steel, right? Here you go. Green circuits. You need green circuits, right? There you go. Rocks, red circuits, so here you go. Batteries, the accumulators use batteries. Let's go ahead and do that. You can see our exoskeleton uses quite a bit of power, but that's okay. We're not always going to get full use out of our exoskeletons yet because we just don't have a lot of power generation. That's why I have quite a few batteries in here, so over time, during the day, the batteries can charge as quick as possible, and then the batteries can provide the power we need for the exoskeletons to keep working. But anyway, so now what we're going to do is we're going to grab these passive provider chests. I'm going to grab like 2 of these. I'm going to grab like 2 stacks of storage chests too. And we're going to start converting all of the stuff in our mall to these passive provider chests and these storage chests. So as a quick explanation, the passive provider chests, basically what it does is it makes whatever the contents are available to your logistics and construction network, right? To your bots. It makes the things available to your bots, and that means your bots can pick things up out of that box and then either use it for construction, or they can bring you items that you request. So you can have your bots bring you stuff. So that way we're not running back and forth to the mall anymore. Very convenient. The storage chests are chests where bots can drop off stuff. So if there's things that you don't want in your inventory, you have these trash slots here. And you can put things into these trash slots, and your logistics bots will come and take them out of your trash slots and put them into yellow storage chests. And then the items in the storage chest can also be used by bots for construction or logistics requests. So it's a It's a recycling bin for the bots, basically. The bots will put whatever you don't want in there, and then later on, if you want it or if one of your construction projects needs it, the bots can use whatever's in the storage chests, as well as whatever's in the passive provider chests. So we're going to convert all these things to passive provider chests. So we're just going to do that. Everything. Everything, everything, everything. So that way we can request or use everything. Whew, that's barely in the network. You see the little green sliver there. But all good. Okay. Everything, everything. We could even have our bots start doing these upgrades now ourselves since we've added the boxes to our network. Let me show you how we can do that, right? So we have down here, now that we have access to our robo network, we can start using these. So we have blueprints, which you've seen me use a couple of times. We have the deconstruction planner, which will ask your construction robots to tear things down. And you have your upgrade planner. So we're going to go ahead and use that first. So I'm going to go ahead and left click on this so it's in my hand. I'm going to throw it here onto the quick bar. Clear my hand, and what I can do is I can right click on it and I can specify exactly what I want my bots to upgrade. So I can say I want to upgrade my iron chests to passive provider chests. I also want to upgrade my steel chests, steel chests to passive provider chests. And then what I can do to make life really easy on myself is I can grab this, and basically wherever there's a box I can just grab it, and you can see some of the boxes are now highlighted in red. It's a little tiny, it's kind of hard to see, but if I zoom in here a little bit, you can see some of those boxes to the north. You can see that they're highlighted in red. Those boxes are boxes that are going to be upgraded. The boxes that are highlighted in blue just means that those have already been upgraded, so they're not going to be upgraded twice. And when we let go, our construction bots will get to work. Some of them came from our inventory, right? But others are going to come from the network. So if we hover over the network now, you can see we have 163 total construction bots. 150 are available because some are in transit, and they're going to come and upgrade the boxes for us. Now they're going to move a little slow at first. If we turn this on, we can actually see them coming. So you can see like one coming. You can see a whole bunch of them coming, actually. See them all working to upgrade the boxes. And then what we need to do is I need to throw down some storage chests. That way they can throw the trash away. Because see, that one's stuck holding something. And down here you're getting a warning. There's not enough logistic network storage space available. So I'm going to go ahead and throw some storage chests, maybe around here, because why not? And now the bots can go bring stuff back. You can filter these storage chests if you want to. So I can say I only want iron chests to come in here. And the bots will drop iron chests off in there only. I don't typically do that, but you can if you want to stay extra organized. I just kind of let the bots run amok as they want. And now they've upgraded all of these to passive provider chests, which is great. Awesome, wonderful, perfect, lovely. So now what we can do is we can open up our menu here, and we have this personal logistics and auto trash menu. And this is where you're going to be able to request items from your bots, and where you're going to be able to automatically set up trash as well. Like for example, I could say I do not want yellow belts at all ever. So what you can do is you can select yellow belts, and you can just set both the minimum and maximum to 0. And you can see I've got 7 belts in my inventory. So as soon as I set this, it gets moved to my trash slots, and then the logistics bots are going to make their way up. You can see one logistics bot coming. But the logistics bots are going to make their way up, and they're going to remove the yellow belt from my inventory. Now the bots move pretty slow right now, but there are a lot of upgrades to get them to work faster, and we'll be able to get those upgrades once we get additional science built. So yeah, pretty exciting stuff. So let's go ahead and set up some other logistics stuff. So what else don't I ever want, right? Well, we end up chopping a lot of wood, right, as we're expanding out. So I can go ahead and say I don't want any wood. So we'll set that to 0. I don't want any wood. We also end up getting a lot of stone in our travels that we never want. So I don't want any stone. Sometimes we also get coal whenever we have to break rocks. So I don't want coal either. Now, what are things that we do want, right? We can continue to add to this. So I do want red belts, right? And I always want a lot of red belts. So I can say I want at least, I can have an exact number, right? I can have, let's say I want at least 1,000. And it can go up to infinity if I want it to. Or I can say I only want 1,000 to 1,500. So that way if I accidentally get more than that, my logistics bots will take them away until I'm down to the maximum. In this case, what do I want? I'm going to say I want 1,500 in general. And then for underground belts, I don't want any yellows. I don't want any yellow splitters either. You can see logistics bots coming now that they're going to come fulfill my request. Because I don't have 1.5k belts. So they're coming to get the belts for me. Now the reason why they broke up is because as they fly they use power and they need the roboports to help them recharge. Also something we're going to notice is now that we're adding a lot of robots, we're going to start to see our electric usage spike. So we're going to want to definitely increase our solar panels, for example, generate a lot more power. So that's going to be one of the first projects I have our construction bots work on, is adding more solar panels and accumulators, and I won't have to do a thing other than place the blueprint down. So that'll be awesome. But anyway, you can see the logistics robots flying around. It's really satisfying to watch them work. If you want, you can add additional roboports in the area, and that will allow more bots to charge in the same area. So you can do something like that. Add another power pole here, and now more robots can charge right here. And that will help them out. Because, you know, they're helping us out. Let's help them out, right? It's just a nice thing to do. Let's do the same thing over here. Going to add another roboport. And then give them extra places to charge. Because why not? It doesn't hurt us to let them have extra places to charge. Cool. So I do want red undergrounds. And I want, I don't know, I want 150 of those. And I only want up to 150 of those. For splitters, I also want 150 of those, up to 150 of those. What else do I want? I want blue inserters. I always want at least 200 of those. For filter inserters, I always want 50 is fine. No more than 50 should be needed, at least not yet. We can always update these later, right? For stack inserters, I always want 100 because I will be setting up more trains eventually, I'm sure. Stack inserters always come in handy. Speaking of, I am going to want steel chests also, right, for setting up train stations. So I'm going to want 100 steel chests. I don't want iron chests at all. You can see we've got some iron chests in our inventory. I don't want them. We want medium power poles. I think I always want at least 150 of them. Maybe 200. There we go. Same thing with big power poles. And then for substations, let's just do 100. Now you can see yellow means that the logistics bots are working on it. The red means the logistics bots can't find any to give me. They can't fulfill this request. And that's because we haven't added substations yet to our mall. So that's something we'll have to work on. At least I don't think we've added them to the mall. Oh, yes we have. It was just way down here. That's right. Let's go ahead and upgrade this to a passive provider chest as well. There we go. And now they can start fulfilling that request. Lovely. Okay, what else do I always want? I always want I always want at least 50 construction robots. Well, only 50 construction robots in my inventory. There are cases sometimes where you will accidentally get more, where you might accidentally pick them up, or if they run out of juice and you're the closest way for them to power, they'll use you to power and then they'll also just come into your inventory. So you want them to go away after a while. And then speaking of, I don't want any logistics robots in my inventory, ever. Let's see, what else do I want? I always want, let's say, 200 pipes. I always want the same, let's say 200 underground pipes. I don't currently really want rails. I typically only grab those when I'm planning on expanding the rail network. So I'm not going to set those requests yet, but I can set them later. Let's see. I always just want 200 red wires for circuits. No more, no less. Just one stack is fine. Again, for the mining drills, I will want them eventually as we continue to expand out. I think what I want to do is I just want to limit it to like 200. I think I've got some extra I don't need. So yeah, 8 went to trash. What else do I want? Electric furnaces I don't really need at the moment. I'm not going to request a certain amount. I'm just going to trash them for now. The logistics robots can put them somewhere. And then later on when I want them, they can bring them back to me. I don't really want blue chips either, so they can take that away. I don't want the modular armor either. They can take that away. Cool. And then as I want more stuff, I can request more stuff. Let's see. I do always want some passive provider chests and storage chests. So give me like 50 of these. Give me like 50 of these. Give me like 50 lights. That way I can keep putting lights down. What else? Go ahead and keep me topped off on 50 pumps is fine. 1 stack of pumps. Give me 1 stack of offshore pumps too. Just in case. Just a stack. And I think we're looking pretty good so far. I think we're looking pretty good. Lovely, lovely. So yeah, that's logistics bots. Pretty sweet, right? So let's go ahead and keep expanding our network. Because one of the first projects I want... Oh, that's because that was using an iron chest before. Now it's a passive provider chest. Anyway, so now I can also go ahead and just get rid of that upgrade planner. So let's go ahead and keep expanding our robo network so that way we get into coverage of our solar array over there, our solar farm. So that way our bots can go and finish it off. Because if we look over there, right, there's still some robo ports that are included in the blueprint. The bots can finish that off for us. We don't need to go place those manually. But we do need to get our network within range in order to get that done. Right? So we're going to go ahead and throw a roboport here. Throw a roboport here. Let's also throw roboports further up. Got to give our roboports power. Keep extending that coverage. There we go. Let's keep the coverage moving towards our solar panel friends. We are almost there. Perfect. So now our construction bots are in range, and they'll start to come, but something you're going to notice is they're going to start coming diagonally. And we don't have a lot of roboports down here in the south, so they might run out of power, right? So we want to make sure we give them plenty of coverage and plenty of opportunity to recharge. So let's go ahead and extend our network downward. Give them more opportunities to recharge. Extend our network this way. So you can see one of them running across. And he ran out of power, so now he's going over to the closest roboport he can find that has power. There we go. Let's keep our network moving. There we go. Keep our network going. There we go. And you can see our construction bots are now working on placing the roboports, right? And now that these roboports are here, that continues to expand our network. And once they place these roboports, that network will continue to expand. So let's go ahead and throw our last roboport down. That's the last one we have. So we might want to request some more. So let's actually open up our inventory here and request some more. I always want at least, let's say, where's our roboports? There they are. I always want at least, let's say, 20. Or I want always just 20. That's fine. Excuse me. So now that we've got a pretty good network and the construction bots can make their way here, we can go ahead and place more blueprints down in order to get more solar energy, right? Because again, we're going to start using that power. You can see our production is spiking pretty drastically. And our steam can't really keep up all that well. Our accumulators will start to drain and all that fun jazz. So we're going to want to throw some more power down, right? We're eating through tons of coal. Eventually our steam is going to run out of coal, and we want to basically be running on solar by the time that happens. So what we can do is we can come up here and we can copy and paste, right? So we can go copy. And we can paste. And then our bots will just take care of it. So paste. And then some bots came from my inventory, right? And the rest will be done by our other construction bots that are already on our network. And you can see that if there's anything that's in the way, like these trees, the rocks, the construction bots will take care of that. No big deal. So we just plop that down and the bots will take care of it. Not worried about it. I'm going to go ahead and give my bots a chance to come back. So let's place a couple more of these. And then my bots can just take some time, work on it over time. No big deal. So there. And there. And that'll give us plenty of power to start. That'll give us plenty of power to start. Eventually, the bots will take care of that for us. I'm not too worried. My personal robots, they are trying to take care of as much of it as they can. Bless their souls. By taking substations from me, you can see they're starting to run out of power, so I'm going to stand here and let them go ahead and recharge. Because they just want to help, little buddies. They just want to help. You can see we're getting a huge chunk of construction bots coming. They're gathering all the solar panels and accumulators, and they're flying out here. It's lovely. Might want to give them even more roboports for them to recharge on. But before they really go to town and trap me in here, let me go ahead and escape. There we go. But yeah, construction bots will take care of it. I don't need to worry about it. It's lovely. It is absolutely lovely. Something else we can do is, even though I don't have roboports in my inventory, I can have the bots add roboports for themselves. So here, you guys add more roboports for you guys to recharge on. This looks like a spot where they Would love to sit here and recharge. So place down some more roboports, please, in that place. And around here too, it would seem, is another place where they might like to recharge. So I'll just throw another one there. And all that fun jazz. And you can see I've got a whole bunch of stuff in my trash slots. The logistics bots will take care of that. And that's how bots work. So we have just reached an awesome point in our game. An awesome point. You can see there's a warning down here saying that there's an entity that's missing. So there's one roboport that just can't, it's not currently there. Maybe it's not in our mall anymore. Let's take a look, right? So in our mall, where do we have the roboport? Okay, there's roboports now. There are 4 of them actually. There might be even more than that. Okay, there we go. Now it's not complaining about roboports anymore. Now it's just saying it needs more construction bots to finish the job. So as we get more robots in our network, they'll be allocated to work on it. So if we hover over here, you can see that the white ones, by the way, are logistics. The yellow ones are construction. You can see down here, this has been working away, right? Working away, working away. So now we have 524 construction bots in total. All of them are working. There's 0 available. They're all working. And we've got 408 logistics robots, and 200 of them are available. So we don't have nearly as many logistics bots working. And that's fine. That's pretty normal. We'll give them a lot more work later. Like now that we have bots set up, we can completely tear down our mall, for example. Well, no, not yet. Something that'll be really cool later on is when we get yellow science done, this logistics system research will be really nice. It gives us some additional chests to work with. In particular, the one I'm personally excited about is the requester chest. What that basically allows you to do is that allows you to specify to the logistics network, hey, I want this. And then the logistics robots will work to fulfill that request. So you can, for example, if we have a mall here, right? You could, for example, say, hey, in order to make iron chests, I need iron plates. So you can go ahead and put an assembler here. Then you can put a requester chest here requesting iron plates. And as long as iron plates are on the network, the logistics bots will bring iron plates to the requester chest. And then you can have a insert from the requester chest into here and then output iron chests. So really cool. I love requester chests. All the chests have their own uses, but just personally speaking, the ones I get the most use of are the storage chests, the passive provider chests, and the requester chests. The other chests are helpful, of course, but I just don't use them as much as I probably should, to be frank. But yeah, this is a good place to stop, I think. We've been recording for quite some time, and we made a lot of progress, right? We successfully got copper back onto our bus. We've added bots, which is lovely. We've upgraded our gear. We can run fast now, which is extra lovely. We can run fast. We've got construction buddies that work with us too. Some solar power, charging up batteries. You can see your battery level over here on the left. So our batteries are almost full, which is great. So that way at night we have plenty of power to keep running fast. All that fun stuff. So now at this point, things are still starting to back up, which is fine. That means we don't really need to expand anything, though I am noticing that the red circuits tend to start draining relatively quickly. So we're probably going to need to expand on that sometime later. And the easiest way to do that, again, is just bots, right? We can just copy something that we've already built, paste it somewhere else, and the bots will build it for us. It's lovely. Absolutely lovely. And then this is when blueprint books really come in handy, right? So if you're stealing blueprint books, like I stole Catherine of Sky's blueprint book, I can go in here, grab a blueprint, and have my bots just plop it down for me. Like, ooh, hey, look, here's that blueprint, right? I can just have them plop it down and take care of it. So blueprint books are very convenient. Again, I would recommend trying to minimize your use of blueprint books during your first playthrough or two, because figuring out how to build things yourself is a good chunk of fun of the game for me. Blueprint books are really convenient once you already know how to build things pretty well, and at that point it becomes more of a organizational exercise, like how do I want my factory put together, right? and then you can use blueprints for that. Whereas the first couple of playthroughs, it's less about how do I want my factory put together and more about how do I build this thing, and then figuring that out. And then later on down the line, figuring out how to do it cleaner, figuring out how to do it better, right? So for example, this blue circuit build, this is pretty reasonable, pretty tight, pretty cool, pretty neat. That would probably be pretty good for a blueprint book, right? But the way that I'm building these bots, it's a little on the sloppy side. You know, I've got random splitters of green circuits going everywhere. I don't have enough flying robot parts to keep these two assemblers completely satisfied. So, I mean, there's plenty I could improve in here. Probably not quite worthy of a blueprint. But nonetheless, we were able to figure it out. And while it's not perfect, it's good enough. And that's half the fun there. All sorts of cool stuff. And like I said before, there's plenty of other stuff you can do with circuits. I'm just trying to keep it simple here. There's some really good tutorials out there for circuits, as well as for trains, from both Yamakara and from Doshington. So yeah, good stuff. Anyway, I'm done rambling, I think. It's a little late at night for me, and I tend to ramble when it's kind of late. But yeah, this is an excellent place to stop, like I said. So hopefully you found this entertaining, informative, and thank you as always for watching. I really appreciate it. And I'll see y'all next time. Take care.